Hello viewers, welcome to this edition of the Bantaba, an in-depth interview that takes a look at prominent Gambians or personalities, issues underpinning them, or perhaps the wafts and the wefts that seem to shape their lives. Today we have General Lamin Bojang, formerly of Gambia Action Party, who recently bounces back with his new political party called the ANRD. Mr. General Lamin Bojang, welcome to the Bantaba.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you very much Mr. Manneh for the gesture and also visiting me and the party at the party headquarters in Brufut. We are overwhelmed with joy and we want to thank you, through you, your proprietor and all the staff of your company, and we say welcome to you. We also in the same vein want to thank your viewers and your listeners to this very important program. Thank you very much for coming here.
You were a general in the army. The reality is you were never even meant to be one. You were to become a nurse. How did you end up as a general?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Mr. Manneh, once again. While I was serving at Fajikunda Health Center, this was in 1994, I used to work under a supervisor who is late now, may her soul rest in perfect peace. There is a gentleman who used to visit them, and normally or usually when he comes to the house, he will find me there. And it was through that interaction that he shared with me that there is a need in the army, that they need professionals, not only nurses, doctors as well, and engineers, and they want to build that core. So it was there that I was convinced. But then even at that time, I did not resign from the Ministry of Health. I will go go through the process and I'll come back and do my duties. So it was true that I finally joined the military. And once I joined the military, I was also the head of the medical corps in the military for some time, until my corps was changed. That is a long story though, the way the corps was changed from medical to infantry. So when my corps was changed from medical to infantry, I did not take it to be an issue. In 1999, I had a scholarship to go to Umar Danfola University to pursue a degree program in medicine. But at the time I was in Sierra Leone. We were the first batch to go to Sierra Leone on a peacekeeping mission. So while I was there, the scholarships came out. So unfortunately for me, my colleagues left. They left for the course, and mine was forwarded to the next year, that is 2000. So when I returned, it was really another long story, because something happened in between out of jealousy and stuff like that. So I could not also follow my colleagues to pursue that program. So I was in the military, but alhamdulillah I had other opportunities, in the military. So when my corps was changed, this was really a difficult time for me. The adjustment from medical. Everybody in the Gambia knew me in that area. So to change me from there to another, because that's why I'm lancing to practice as a nurse, a registered nurse, and also a state certified midwife, because I also did midwifery. So it was really very difficult. I did clinical nursing as well. Mainly my duties, covers outpatient and departments and stuff like that. So it was really difficult, but finally I just set myself, and infantry happened to be, I think it was the right choice for me, because my orientation also fitted very well in the infantry corps.
Why was it the right choice for you?
It was the right choice for me because, I was a disciplinarian, and secondly, at that time I was full of energy. I am somebody who always like to be part of people. I want to interact, and even though I was in the medical corps, I had this thing at the back of my mind that my activities were limited, but then the passion and the desire to be a doctor was still there. But when I joined the military with time, You know, I've been tested with the challenges also in the infantry sector. So I think I was able to overcome them, and that's why I excel, you know, in that sector.
You are a young man. What led to your removal from the army to the foreign service?
I had this interview with somebody, and he said you were discharged from the military. Actually, in my view, I think politely we were redeployed to the foreign service. Because I did not do anything. What happened is that if you ask me, was I ready to be redeployed into the foreign service, I will say no. Because at that time I thought it was my prime time, I was my prime age, and I think I still had a lot to give to the military. Because when they retired me, I was the commander, I was an army commander. And there was a part that I charted for the army at the time. I wanted the army to become people's army. And I have started, you know, implementing part of that desire, part of that ambition. But then along the line, you know, I was redeployed. I was not removed from the military, neither was I discharged. I was redeployed into foreign service. So when I was redeployed into foreign service, at a time when I think I had a lot to give, that was also a very difficult moment for me, but without regrets at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. General, since you entered politics and declared your interest in running for president, you have been involved in one scandal after another. Don't you think you have been cursed?
Thank you very much for putting it that way. And I think many people, so the general opinion would be that to become or to have the desire to be the president of this country, you have to go through certain tests. And the tests are not supposed to be palatable or easy or smooth, I mean, if you want to. So the things that I am going through, you know, do I like them to befall me? No, you know, in the strongest terms. But who am I that I'm not supposed to go through them? Because histories have also recorded that great leaders have gone through certain difficult times than me, and I pray that I do not go into anything more than what I have gone through already. You know, so but then I don't think it is a cause. Honestly, I take the challenges, because the allegations upon allegations, the tragedies upon tragedies, these are difficult. But if you look at the circumstances around them, you will always see something, and that is innocency. And that is very important, because if I am the perpetrator, if I'm the one who is doing that to somebody else, honestly, I would have been behind bars now, because they are illegal, they are not accepted in all the terms. So, but then, because I want to become the president of the Republic of the Gambia, I want to be the president of a Wali, if there is any. I want to be the president of Hafiz al-Quran, if there is any. I want to be the president of all the ulamas in the country. I want to be the president of the young people. I want to be the president of the genes and every other thing that exists in the Gambia. So I must have certain bearing. I must have certain level of tolerance. I must have certain level of understanding of events, you know. So things that befell me or things that are happening to me, these are tests, okay? And because they did not happen to me alone, leaders have passed through same channel or same path, and they have encountered worse than what I am going through. So if it is a cause, I would have looked for an alternative. But for now, we think these are blessings in disguise, and that is why each time that one occurs, it empowers, it strengthens or it fortifies your energy, it gives you more energy, it pushes you forward. And then the most important thing about it all is that it makes you known. It publicizes you. It gives you that publicity that you probably would not have, you know, been able to do on your own, you know. So, and the most important thing also is that you see the solidarity of the human being, the people, you know, how they show their sympathy you know, and how they stand with you in those difficult times. So these are things that are, you know, to me, they are not a cause, they are a challenge. There are challenges that are there to test me, and I think with the people that are around me, and I'm sure the Gambian people are also watching, if you should enter my compound and vandalize my vehicles, and people are saying stand there and wait, let them vandalize your vehicles, don't do anything, and after that people will come back to you and say sabar, you know, sabar, cool down, you just sit down, don't worry, and don't even allow the police to punish them, and then you accepted all that. You know, that is very difficult. So who will think that that is a cause? If that is a cause, then I don't believe that there is anything like a cause. So to me, these are challenges. Imagine that when the young people enter my compound, I took a weapon, cutlass, stick or whatever, and I chased them. I would have been on the social media by now, or maybe somebody would have even advised me to drop this ambition or this desire.
Regarding that incident, they said you threatened them with a gun. Is that true?
Exactly.
Did you pull out a gun?
No, but the thing is that this air conditions the roof. You see the water marks.
Yes.
Because the roof was almost damaged, and the louvers were all damaged. The air condition and everywhere. My cars, you see them outside. Imagine that if I had a gun with me at the time that they were doing that, this would broad their life. Imagine that if I had a gun that time, what would have happened? It was going to be a different thing altogether.
What would have happened?
No, because the thing is that if you are visiting me, and for instance, if you are attacking me, a retired general, you know that you are attacking a retired general, and one thing that will echo in your mind, or one thing that will ring in your mind, is that a retired general, the tendencies are that he is going to be armed. He's not going to have a cutlass, not a stick. So this is what the strategy I used. That is why I was alleged, and I know what I know, and I knew exactly what I did, because if I did not do that, and when people told me to go to report the matter to the police, I say, to report the matter to the police, to do for what, you know? And because these are my young people, my boys. Did
you pull a gun on them, sir?
No, I cannot put a gun on. I don't even have a gun. The third day or so, and I declared there that anybody who attacked my house down, now you will see a gun. And I made this thing very, very clear.
Did you mean those statements?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm entitled to. I am entitled to protect myself. You know, I'm a retired general, for God's sake, and the state owe me certain protection. And I think the people just want to politicize this whole thing, and I don't think that is fair. It is not easy, but I shown discipline. I shown to the people that I'm doing exactly what I'm asking for from each and every one of us. You know, if I had a gun that day, I probably may fire a gun warning shot just to chase these are young people, young boys. They come here and I give them money to go and buy attire and stuff like that. And these are the same people who came to attack me. These are my first cousin's sons who are desperate, they don't know what to do. Why would I take them to the police? These are some of the things that I ask people. So I would not use gun against them. But I believe that I'm here with my father, who is the oldest as far as people, the engineers who born in Brufut. My father is the oldest, and he is here with me in the compound. I'm here with so I'm scared about that. I'm worried about that, not about my own security.
General, I would want for you to, it's fine for you to elaborate on that exactly, later on in the interview.
No problem.
Let me just bring you back here a little bit. It's been 5 months now since the formation of your new party, the ANRD.
Right.
What are your chances of winning the December elections?
You probably, we prayed the Zuhur here, Alhamdulillah. And then history has been made here. Inshallah, maybe we will have another opportunity to pray again, Zuhur. And ANRD is the next government. Inshallah, we have the strategies, we have the plans. When we were registered, we want to do things that will show to people that we are the winning party. When we registered, the expectations were that we are going to go and form political rallies for people to come from everywhere. No, that is not the politics that is going to change. You know, we believe that for you to be able to gather that support base for yourself, there are certain steps that you need to take. And ANRD, since we registered, we have those structures. And those structures are the ones that we are using to permeate our messages to the people that's supposed to receive them. So what we have been doing all this while, people do not know. From here to Koina, if you go there, you will find our messages there. Everywhere in this country, every region you go, you will find ANRD there. So we have been going, through this door-to-door campaign, and then we toured the whole of this region. And just for records, on the 5th of October, we are also going on an introductory tour. The advanced team went and they came back not long ago. They spent about 5 days to 6 days on that tour, and they came back not long ago. And now, because I lost my mom at the time, I could not go out. So it is after the 40 days that I promised that I will also join the caravan. So we are going to start this 1 week tour, inshallah, on the 5th of October. And we are also going to tour the whole country, just to go and tell the people, introduce our people, introduce ourselves to the Gambian people, but also to tell them that this is the party that has come to salvage the Gambian people. So our chances of winning is very, very high. We are a threat. I'm sure history has also recorded that this is West Coast region. West Coast region has, Yaya Jammeh is from Kanilai. Kanilai is in West Coast. But in Combo, we have been marginalized a lot as far as politics in this country is concerned. And we have not had Kombonkas, known into that leadership tussle. All that we know is that we make kings. We are the deciders. We are the one who, this is the swing state, this is the battleground, if you like. But this is the first time that we have two, indigenous of this area who are coming forward to also contest as in the presidential election. So that's an opportunity. And then there are other opportunities that I will not like to highlight them now, but then these are the chances that we have, and then inshallah the next government is going to be ANRD.
Your hometown of Brufut and its environs are naturally your political base. However, by all indications, the UDP and the NPP are the much bigger parties in this area. Where are you going to get your votes from?
You see, that's a very important question, and you have seen, I don't know how many times the president has come here since we were registered. I think he's coming for the 4th or the 5th time, since ANRD was registered. You see, I'm born and brought up here, and then we are how to call it again, the owners of this particular community. We are all interrelated, okay? And what the people are looking at is not UDP who has been here for 26 or 30 years. It's not Adam Barrow who thinks that he has money, or it's not somebody who has been in politics for many, many years. All that they want to see is a genuine person. And here I am, and now you are comparing me with people who have been in politics for a very long time, except Adam Barrow. UDP came here for a meeting, and interestingly, they have seen what they have seen, but prior to their arrival, they said 95% of Brufut people are UDP. But when they came here, they know where they went to. And secondly, Adam Barrow has been, I'm telling you, he's coming here for the 5th time. He's coming here for the 5th time. We will teach them, we will teach these politicians a lesson. And that is why we are not talking. That is why we are not doing anything. What we are doing is selling ourselves, talking to people. The way we're doing our politics is very mature, and that is why we are into politics. We are into politics because we want to bring sanity into politics. We want to bring decorum into politics. We want to make sure that the Gambian people have been given the opportunity, especially the young people and the women. Now, what we are trying to do is that allowing Barrow to win is only going to plunge us into chaos. UDP is not the substitute. The only substitute is a first person, and that first person is going to come from Combo. They all know. They are denying, but they all know, and time will tell, inshallah.
Interesting. General, the EU election observer mission, as well as the defeated draft constitution, both called for transparency in electoral campaign financing. Will you tell Gambians at the sources of your money?
Honestly, I will. I will do that because, you know, the corruption, the magnitude of corruption in this country is unbearable. And then we are a witness to what has been happening from 2016 to date. No accountability, there is this kangaroo anti-corruption commissions and whatever. But for us, we are doing exactly what we're calling for. And for us to be able to succeed as a government and as a people, we have to make sure that we fight corruption. And we have a mechanism, we have a tool that we can use to be able to mitigate that. And for us, if disclosing our sources of sponsorship is going to add to strengthen that particular arrangement, certainly we will do that. We're not going to tell people this is the source of our funding because we want to tell for people to know for the sake of it. We want it to be tied to transparency, accountability, and that when we are the government, we want to exactly do what we are known for.
Why can you not tell our listeners and readers now?
Of course, yeah. The party, all political parties have people that normally support them, and without conditions attached. ANRD, without any condition attached. Alliance for National Reorientation. We have sponsors from Italy. We have sponsors from US and even from Senegal. But the thing is that we do not. These are family members. These are friends that I made. These are friends that members of ANRD made. They give money, you know, without any conditions attached, because we believe that we don't have to make those type of arrangements. Okay, give us money. If you give us money, you know, when we are this, we will make this. Those are not arrangements that ANRD will go into, because the thing is that money is not the one that is going to make us win.
What interest do you think they have that they are giving all these monies?
The interest that they have is to see that there is change in this country for good. The interest that they have is that they listen to us and they follow in us and they know the alternative. The answers to the problems of this country. And for us to develop this country, we need to bring in people on board that knows how to do exactly what I have just said. So because of that, that is the only reason why they are giving us their money. There is no other reason why somebody will give you his money, because for us, ANRD, for us, and time will tell, you know, people will see us with these people. Some of them are friends, like I said, family members. Some of them are connections that I have while I was on my missions. And these are, you know, arrangements that are as transparent as whatever. And part of it is coming from our own pockets.
How do you intend to compete patently with richer political parties like NPP and UDP and even PDOIS?
Yeah, and that is where the problem lies. What we know is that I don't know why money is significant. As far as we are concerned, we only want funds just to facilitate our movements. That is why we need money for. That is the only reason. But like the parties that you have named, I have not seen them except the PDOIs, for instance. I know that they have a news, they were also involved, you know, now they have separated the two. That is the newspaper and the party. But NPP, I have never seen them even cultivated a thing or businesses. But what I know is that out of the blues, now they are classified as one of the richest political party in the country.
Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, because the magnitude of corruption. Magnitude of corruption. You know, maybe we will come to that, but then let me just say this thing. Because NPP, or Adama Barrow, has failed Gambians. He has betrayed Gambians. And if there is any word apart from lied, I want you to help me, because perhaps my vocabulary is very weak. You can help me. If I tell you something and that is not true, I know in my view, I think the right word is lie. They lie to Gambian people. And as a result, he will continue to do that. I'm sure, just to remind you and the viewers, Adama Barrow once said that if you're looking for presidency, you can say anything.
Yes, he did.
And that is exactly what he's doing. He's saying anything that he feels like doing. He's just talking, promising people, laying foundation stones. That is also another side of leadership. Leaders don't start projects and just left them uncompleted. That is not the good sign of a leadership. When you start something, you should be able to see the end product of it. And that is also classical example of very good leaders. And that is what this man is good at. So what he told us is exactly what he's doing. Tell them anything that you think you can tell them, but they are not true.
So you're suggesting he doesn't have the country's interest or the government at heart?
No, don't even put the interest. He does not know how to put the country's interest at heart. That is the biggest problem that Adama Barrow has. The thing is that he betrayed us. They said they formed a coalition 2016 for 3 years. They went around and they said that they have certain responsibility that they are going to fulfill. That is the security sector reform, the TRRC, the Jana Commission and the likes, okay? And they're supposed to finish within a period of time. If they are gentlemen, if they are patriotic Gambians, if they love this country, if they have this country at heart, what stopped them from honoring that 3 years period? And that is very difficult. It is either they betrayed us, or they lied to us, or they deceived us. And this is what Gambians are fed up with Adama Barrow.
What will you, in fact, General Lamin Bojang, will you in fact contest the December elections?
Inshallah, I will contest in the December election. That is why we are into politics. So the December election, yes, we are going to take part in December. I'm going to take part in December election, inshallah. And arrangements are in full gears for us to do exactly that. The other thing is that general opinions have it that there are tendencies or there are possibilities for people to form an alliance or coalition. This is possible. It is possible, only we have an open door, policies. If there are political parties whose agenda and their way of doing things are also the same as us, why not? And we are not that rigid in the saying or the belief that we have to be the flag bearer of that arrangement should there be a better candidate. If there are better candidates, yes. But right now, you give me a criteria and put on candidates in this country and compare them with us, and you tell me who is better than us, and if that person is there, we'll definitely want to. And you see, it is not only pulling crowd. We have to put forward a winnable candidate, a candidate that can win. And the candidate that can win is not the candidate that crowd follow. The crowd is crowd. People have not made up their minds yet. They are still scouting. So if a political party A is going out and you see the light follows it, and then you say, oh, I'm there. No, you're not yet there. And that is why ANRD, our strategy is going to surprise a lot of people. And I think the path that we are taking is the right path. And then, yes, we are going to take part in the December 4th election.
General, many political observers say you exhibit pro-Jammeh and pro-APRC sympathy. In fact, it was reported that, there was talk in town that you speak with Jammeh here and now. Is this true?
I have never spoken with Jammeh since he left the soils of the Gambia. And I don't know the last time that I spoke with Jammeh. I cannot remember in my life, honestly. And then, if I'm a sympathizer to Jammeh and APRC, it's because on the basis of unity. APRC, ANRD, Alliance for National Reorientation and Development, is a unifying party. We are a unifier. And then let us look at this thing critically. Now, when Yaya left, this country was polarized. We were divided based on ethnic or political lines, and we need a unifier. We thought that Barrow was going to come with that unifying cap. So when they commissioned the TRRC, personally, some of us thought that, oh, this is the best arrangement that can bring all of us together. Just to be surprised or just to the dismay of some of us that the TRRC has been used to witch hunt certain people. You see, I am very, very careful with with my position on the Yaya Jammeh and APRC. I'm very, very careful. What I said was that if we are able to establish that Yaya has done A, B, C, D, the laws will be there to judge him. I'm not the one who's supposed to judge him. What they used to say is that, why am I not being critical about Yaya Jammeh? I said, look, I worked with the man. I worked with him directly. He used to give me instructions directly. But not once has he even told me to go and beat or insult somebody. So why do I have to go outside? Because now I want to become the president of the country. So I have to go out there and start naming or giving him names. That is not fair. And secondly, look, we have an opportunity. Look, I have given examples upon examples, like Ghana, for instance, Rwanda, for instance. Countries will go through certain difficult times. But the thing is, we cannot be glued to the past all the time of our life. If you mention APRC, that APRC did this thing, APRC did, Yaya Jammeh did this thing, Yaya Jammeh did. No. At one point, arrangements will be there for Yaya Jammeh to answer to those things. There could also be a possibility that we will all pardon him. And this is how countries move forward. J.J. Rawlings of Ghana, you know, was one of those presidents that you want to use when in these kind of circumstances. You know, Paul Kagame of Rwanda is a typical example that you want to use in circumstances like this. But the thing is this, Gambia we have a problem. Political party leaders are using the errors that were committed during Yaya Jammeh's time to continue to castigate or sideline Yaya Jammeh and APRC members are Gambians. For the sake, if we're talking about unifying the Gambia, regardless of who has done what, we will pardon all and then we'll all move forward. And this is what is going to bring all Gambians together.
Regardless of whatever atrocities were allegedly committed in the past?
Now look at TRRC, what they have done. There are victims. Mr. Manneh, what people will be responsible. We know that there are victims. There are people that they classify at the TRRC that these are victims of the last regime. Now, these victims, what have we done for them? I am saying that compensation is also an establishment of justice. Compensation of these victims, some of them, their livelihood is pathetic. Some of them, the condition in which they are is very, very sad. But the TRRC, the staff, the commission members, they were paying themselves that fat salary. Meanwhile, the people that they are working for, or the people that they're supposed to work for, that the people that they call the victims, throughout that period where they are suffering, nobody take care of them. And these are some of the things that I was crying all the time. Before you now go all of the sudden out there after an incompleted job, you come out to say that I want to become a political, presidential aspirant. Meanwhile, we gave you a job to do. We asked you to do this thing for us. Before you even finish that one, you're coming from, how can I trust you to give you my country? How can I trust you? You have started a job and you have not finished. Now you are telling me, now give me your country. We'll give you a country, you'll give it to Senegal and you run away.
What are you trying to say?
The thing is that we have asked TRRC to bring Gambians together. This is supposed to be a reconciliation.
Yes.
This is supposed to be, Gambians are polarized based on ethnic or whatever line, political lines, right? What we want TRRC to do, look at that composition. You have Muslims and Christians, elderly, young, experienced people, educated people. If those people came together and identify these are the victims, who were the perpetrators of committing those crimes against you, and then we, as Christians, there are ways that they resolve their issues. As Muslims, we have a way to resolve our issues, but as cultured people, Gambian people, we have our traditional ways how we resolve differences. It does not matter if it is killing, if it is beating, if it is whatever. We have catered in our cultural values how we resolve those problems. And that was the opportunity, that was the time that we were after Yaya Jammeh. Now, when Yaya left, those were the steps that we have to take, considering or factoring in the constitution of the land. Now, the thing is that we have not done that. We started digging old wounds. We started, bringing people left, center, right, bringing them to a so-called kangaroo commission called TRRC, which was used mainly to demean, to throw mods at Yaya Jammeh and APRC. That is not going to unify Gambians. What is going to unify Gambians is this. This is very, very difficult for somebody to say. But what I'm saying is that I cannot exonerate Yaya Jammeh from the allegations that were levied against him. But what I'm saying, in the spirit of unification. What we need to do is that let us see APRC as Gambians. Let us see Yaya Jammeh as Gambians. Let us only know that he is guilty when he is proven guilty. These things that people are alleging against him are all allegations. I don't talk to Yaya Jammeh. I have never spoken to him. But the thing is that I am a strong advocate of the victims that they classify as victims. But equally, I am also strongly condemning people who want to make us to stay in the past. We have to move on. And for us to move on, we cannot leave APRC behind. For us to move on, we have to resolve the issue of Yaya Jammeh. And that answer lies with the ANRD. We want to make sure that we let Gambian people understand that we are Muslims, we are Christians, we are Gambians, we are Africans. We have values, we have traditions how we resolve our differences. Let us use those means to resolve our differences. You see, TRRC has now failed us. You know, their lead council has now joined the political scene, which is the deadliest mistake that he will make in his life.
Why was that a mistake?
No, because the thing is that we gave him a job to do. The TRRC, he was playing the role of a lead counsel, and then he used that position to fool Gambians, to deceive Gambians, because we thought that he was working for us, not knowing that he was working for himself. This is cheating. This is not how integrities are maintained.
What should the lead counsel have done?
No, the lead counsel should have completed his job. Presidency is not only 2021.
But General, he did complete his job,
no,
didn't he?
Has the president reacted? Has the presidency said anything? Has the executive reacted to the TRRC?
No, the report hasn't been sent. Before he left the TRRC, the report was not submitted to the president.
So that is why he failed us. But no, you don't have, you know, the thing is that,
okay,
can I be in the military and contest for the presidency? Can I be in the foreign service and still, no. I was in the presidency, I was in the foreign service because I knew that this is going to be clash of interest. I have to resign from my position to enter into politics.
So what would you advise Mr. Esafal?
Esafal had betrayed us. He has betrayed the cause. We gave him a job to do. That popularity that he had was because we thought that he was digging, truth to make sure the Gambians understand that, hey, these wrongs that happen here and they happen to us. Yes. That was why he was popular at the time. So, but now he has touched a wrong path, or he is taking a wrong course. Yeah. He should have allowed this particular TRRC, this so-called famous TRRC, to be exhausted. Every procedure, everything that is attached to that TRRC, to be exhausted before he entered into any other, arrangement or whatever. So, for him to go up to the before even submission of the TRRC, for him to quit or depart that particular commission to go into politics, that is not good for leaders. Leaders don't do that. It's a very poor, exhibit of who he is. He's shown us that he's a greedy type. He's shown us that he's that type of leader who is engulfed with that laissez-faire attitude. He's showing us that he is that type of person who does not care about what you give it to him, what you assign him to do. He will do it the way he likes it, and this is very dangerous. It's very serious, and that is why if not your interview, I don't even mention about...
General, before tail end of this interview, we would pick up the issue of the TRRC once more.
Wonderful.
But then, your nephew stabbed and killed someone almost 2 weeks ago here, and outraged townspeople attacked your home and returned to wreak havoc. Can you quantify the damages that have been done, and what comments do you have to make regarding the issue?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Manneh, once again. Exactly, that was what happened. My younger brothers, we will say my nephew, yeah? In English, we will say my nephew. Okay. Yeah. It's my younger brother's son, and the little guy does not want to adhere to our type of training in the house. This home is known. This family is known. It's a very big family, and we are not into those kind of bandit activities.
Yes.
If smoking, I'm sorry for those smokers. Yeah. If smoking is classified as being not well trained, that's why you indulge in that.
Yeah.
Our family does not even do that. Yeah. And we have we value, we respect. We are people that are we accepted, and then we recognize our parents' role in our life. But the particular gentleman you're talking about, this was what happened. You see, and then the young boys who are also his mates also reacted. And then the havoc that they have caused here is in the tune of, is a lot. It's a lot. But then when that happened, you want to ask yourself again, and then I will tie this to the previous question that you asked.
Yes.
What is my crime in that? What is my crime in all that? Is it my son? It's not my son. So the house is there. Why do I have to pay the price? These are things that you said you will want to say you are caused. Why you want to believe that I'm caused? So I want to believe that these are some of the challenges that I will go through, because I'm the head of the family, and when this kind of thing happen, the boy does not even live in the house here. He refused to accept the values in the house, and we cannot tolerate anybody with that kind of attitude. And then we have used means to reprimand him, and we have used every possible means for him to succumb to our demand and our way of training him, but we could not succeed. But that is life. So when it happened, the young people who came here were reacting to what he has done, and it was very difficult. But what happened was that I did not see the havoc here to be an issue. Okay. What I saw to be an issue was what we have done. Like somebody from us had caused a problem, and that was what really was the problem of our family, and that was what we handled. So, and we sat. These are my boys that will come to my house here, and I will give it to them. These are the same people who came back to attack me. And when I saw some people, they had their hands of, "Uncle, I'm sorry, you'll be surprised, but forgive us, we will not do this thing again." And that is why I refused to even call police or the military to come and intervene. But people held me. They said I will not go out. I said, "No, leave me to go out. I will talk to these boys and they will understand." Because I don't know why should I call police to go and arrest my nephew, or a small boy who is desperate, or somebody who is angry, and they are angry because their friend's life has been taken, and why? How was that life taken? We have an issue. The coronavirus has blocked their source of income. And also, Senegalese fishermen and the way our businesses have been taken from us has also contributed in their frustration. And as a result, they don't have any alternative. Now what they do is they hide behind alcohol, drugs, and cannabis. And they do this thing mainly on Sunday beaches. And our Sunday beaches needs to be revisited. Let's look at our Sunday beaches. What transpired during Sunday beaches? Sunday beaches, for instance, if you hear Mr. Manneh, Sunday beaches, we're going to Sunday beaches, it's like you're going for a picnic. Yeah. You sit with your friends, and Sunday beaches are normal like that. Yeah. Sunday beaches today are breeding grounds for hooliganism. Sunday beaches are places that are breeding and spoiling our young people. And I think there's a need for us to police that. What happened is that also, let us observe that discipline at home level is diminishing, rapidly. Discipline at school is also diminishing at that same scale. Now, the only place where we think we can reprimand our kids when they wrong us is with us. That is the government. The government is what needs to step in. And that is why when these young people came here and did what they did, I forgave them. Because I believe that if they have means of engagement, if they were meaningfully engaged or employed, they wouldn't have venture into this kind of thing. These are 18-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, and you think about the transition from adolescent to adulthood. There are a lot of challenges that also confront them. So as a result, I felt that this is something that we can let go. And regardless of the magnitude of the problem and the amount of money that was involved, we forgave all of them.
What is the latest? What is the latest update on this sex scandal that you were involved in? No, this was the sex scandal that you were involved in. What is the update on that? Has there been anything from the police or any? Yeah,
I think we have. I have done what I can do humanly possible. And I have also used our instruments or our ministries and departments for me to lodge my complaint of a kind of defamation of character that was perpetrated against me. And yes, at some point, people pointed finger at certain people, but I let go. I said, if it is me that they want to spoil, Allah, you know best. Handle this situation. But we have seen some of the things that are happening. But the latest is that I let the police to do their job. You know, that also reminded me that we have a lot of issues in this country. To police this country, we have to deviate, or we have to graduate from the business as usual way of doing stuff to a more programmatic way of, you know, handling issues. We have serious problems. Even our police are incapacitated. When I reported that matter to the police, you know, I saw that, you know, this is the doctor that I came with my sickness, and while I was complaining to him, the doctor was also complaining to me. You know, so I felt frustrated at that point, and then I was like, okay, how am I going to be helped in this kind of situation? So I have to use my own resources, because I want to dig to the bottom of that particular incident. You know, I have to use my own resources to make sure that, you know, I commit them where they think, you know, they will not be able to go, and, you know, stuff like that.
Some political analysts said that affair, or that sordid affair, permanently damaged your reputation and credibility, and that instead of making your foray into politics, you should have instead concentrate on rebuilding your personal, or rebuilding the personal damage. What do you say to those suggestions?
I do not know the personal damage that you're talking about. I do not see any personal damage in it. I do not see anything in it. People that are around me, they know me very well. People who, Gambians who are listening to us, who are also analyzing situations of that nature, they also are looking at me, and they know what I have done. If there are other measures, or there are other means that I can do, or I could do to be able to correct that situation, I would have done it. I will not relent in any way. If there are any measure that is available, I would have used it. But then, how to kill it, damage of image, or to concentrate on building my image, that was not something that I thought was the issue here, and that is why the people that I interacted with, the people that I know, the people who stood by me both within the Gambia and abroad, you know, we all understood that these are things that are common today, and you know, you will talk to 1, 2, 3 people, and then, you know, you will hear that, you know, this had happened to this so and so, it has happened to Mr. so and so, and I also come to know that, you know, there are other people who are also struggling. I will not succumb to somebody with those kind of threats.
Indeed,
that's not
these
me.
things are very common these
yeah,
days.
No, but the painful part of it is that give me money, otherwise I will do this thing to you. I will not do that. I cannot do those kind of things.
General, the TRRC is supposed to present its report to the president anytime soon. Okay. Now, what do you think should be the fate of your former boss, President Jammeh?
President Jammeh's fate should be determined in a court of law. Okay, it should be determined in a court of law. Look at what had happened in this country. In the name of unity, in the name of unifying this country, before you even take President Jammeh to court, you have seized all his properties, and you sold his properties. That means he's guilty already. They sold all his properties. He's guilty. All his accounts were frozen. All the accounts of APRC were frozen. No, I'm talking about the truth. Okay. Let me be associated with APRC, or let me be seen to be defending. I am saying the truth. Okay. The truth is that those things are not supposed to happen. Okay? And what Adam Barrow is telling APRC today, no, it was UDP, it was Hussein Dabo when he came out. He was the one that confused me. That is why I did whatever. That's why he's not a leader. That's why he's not a leader, because we did not elect Hussein Dabo into office. It was Adam Barrow who was in charge. And then he was the one that Gambian people had sleepless nights so that we changed this country. And then we changed this country, and then we left the mantle of this country in his hands. So to apportion blame on somebody else is unacceptable. So to say that TRRC is going to submit a report, TRRC cannot do anything. Because the thing is that the report of the TRRC is now compromised. What is going to be contained in that report about anybody in this country? What we know is that if I had gone to TRRC and I been a coward and said that I slapped you on this day, today when we meet tomorrow when we meet, I will bow down because, I have shamed myself.
Who compromised the report, General?
Yeah, the attitude of the members of the TRRC, especially ESA's, departure to go into political arena, this has seriously compromised the integrity of that particular commission. One, also, why would Barrow honor that report? What is he going to look at? The thing is that, if ESA is a lead council, if one of the members, let's say one of the commissioners, quit and joined politics, would have been, even more acceptable than the way, things had unfolded.
But don't you think that is beside the point, that he did his job, that he did what he was tasked or asked to do, and that he was now ready to step aside and declare his intent to run the country and enter politics? Or do you feel otherwise?
After you insulted our religion, after you insulted our elderly people, after you have defamed, you have protected gays, after you want our country to go secularism, after all those kind of things, you still want to go into politics at that, premature time? No, I think his calculations were wrong. This Facebook popularity, if you want to count on that and you think that you can become a president in this country, that is the biggest mistake that he has made. And I honestly, Gambians will not forgive him for that. We followed him personally. When I saw that, I followed one or two sittings, and then I saw that, okay, there were times that I will say, okay, my soldiers are betraying me, because how can you go and sit at a commission like this and you start revealing things that were not even founded? There were nobody there, and you had condoned that, and then you still come in here. That's not the soldiers don't do that kind of thing. But the thing is that ESA is somebody who we trusted, and we paid him to serve us, and then I applaud him for that services. So I was going to wait until everything about that commission's responsibility before I would go into politics. But for him, the actions that he has taken has, failed him as a leader. He cannot be a leader that can be trusted.
General, we have taken so much of your time, but we wouldn't do justice to this marathon interview if we do not ask this one final question. Okay. From September last year to date, General, 4 military coups took place in the sub-region.
Yeah.
You are a former general.
Right.
What is your reading of the relationship between Gambian soldiers and the current government in terms of the stability and security of the state?
That's very, very important. There is something that you mentioned here. Why is it that coup d'etats are becoming popular once again in Africa, when we think that we have succeeded in keeping the soldiers in the barracks? There are reasons for this. You see, we have seen that the way we are protecting the so-called democracy is becoming an issue. Now look, the ECOWAS, for instance, and the AU, we are here. When presidents will, at the end of their terms, will twist the arms of their followers or their lawmakers to change constitutions, legal instruments that governs them, to give them more terms in office. And these are illegal. These are illegal, arrangements. But nobody will come from the ECOWAS or the AU or the UN or all these human rights watchers to caution them. But when the military comes from the barracks to correct those kind of odds, people will come from everywhere. The thing is, the way we can keep the military in the barracks is ensuring that we live by leadership, by example. We cannot keep the military in the barracks and off their hands from the governance if we are not leading our people. The military are there to secure the people, but their lives, the way their lives are led, is also their business. If you want to keep me in the barracks, make sure you leave the lives of the government people on the right path. And that is what is now becoming an issue. And then I think the organization, the international organizations that is the ECOWAS and the AU, they have to look at their positions very critically. Let them not allow leaders who are leading to, illegally change constitution just to fit them, so that they can run for more terms. And like you said, In our context, in our situation, the reason why the situation here is volatile is simply because Adama Barrow is not a leader that can be trusted. When he came in, they sidelined our own security. Who said that the Jolas formed the majority of the Gambia Armed Forces? Is this record that I want? Who said that the Gambia Armed Forces constitute Yaya Jammeh's soldiers? This is the record that I want. If there are people in the armed forces, if there are officers in the armed forces who have conducted military, recruitment exercises, I don't think there will be anybody who will tell me that he has conducted that more than me. I have been on the front, I have conducted and I have trained officer cadets to become officers in the armed forces. I was the only person who has done that in the armed forces. So I know what I'm talking about. So to sideline members of the armed forces and bringing in Senegalese soldiers, since 56 years of our existence, Senegal have been trying to police Senegal from the Gambia. This is wrong. You see, the problem is that the Gambia and Senegal, we are all decent people.
You mean they've been trying to police Gambia from Senegal?
No, they want to police Senegal from the Gambia.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, you don't understand this. The statement is this. There is a problem that is happening in Casamas region. And the best way that they can police what is happening in that region is when they are in the Gambia. So they want to use the Gambia as their hub to be able to make sure that they launch their attacks and whatever to monitor and police, that particular part of Senegal from the Gambia. They want to have a base in the Gambia. This has been there for a very long time. These are, information that are not, usually shared. But these are things that are unacceptable. Easy, Gambia and Senegal.
So why would President Barrow, if these are true, why would he allow this?
These are some of the things that are that's why Gambians are angry. Gambians are angry. They are dismayed. They are disappointed. The way, we have left. Let me tell you something. I went to Bakau at the beach. I went to interact with the fishermen there, our fishermen, Gambian fishermen there. When I went there, they could not believe that there's a political party called ANRD, because it is the first time in the history of the Gambia that a political opposition party will go to a beach, fish landing site, to interact with the fishermen, to know their plight and also know the condition that's happening there. When I went there, it was sad. I was definitely saddened by what I heard and what I saw there. But the most painful and the difficult part is this. You see, Gambia and Senegal, we are one people. But our relationship to the government, the two governments, is making us to have a friction. Their policies are not friendly. They are not helping the people that they're supposed to benefit. And as a result, it is causing friction between the two peoples. So what happened is that when I went there, I have found out that Senegalese fishermen who normally sail in the Gambia here, they have leverage or liberties over our own people. And this is something that I find disturbing. What happened is that if a Senegalese fisherman sells here in the Gambia, he can sell his fish to Senegalese first, then to the Gambians. So what happened is that if a Gambian goes to Senegal, he cannot have that kind of the same privilege. And the most difficult part is that a fisherman from Senegal can sail here in the Gambia, go to the filling station, a petrol station, and buy fuel for his machine in his boat. But a Gambian, when he goes to Senegal, cannot go to a filling station in Senegal to buy fuel from the filling station. There is an intermediary. You understand? And this is very, very difficult. And they don't pay tax.
Really?
Yes. Their boats don't pay tax. And this is what we are battling. So you can see the policies that the two countries have instituted. This is something that is unacceptable. And then, like you said, the security situation is aggravated because there was insecurity in this country has been sidelined, and champion other securities over our own. If I bring in another journalist from maybe Paradise or maybe JRTS and then put you aside, and the job that you are doing, let's say you are the architect of Bantaba. If we should bring in somebody else, there will be jealousy. You will feel bad about it. And this is exactly what is also happening to our own security. They are not being taken care of. Their welfare is not taken care of. They are demotivated. And then what the type of leadership that we want for this country, especially for our security men and women in uniform, and also for our young people, is a leadership that is going to motivate, a leadership that is going to inspire, a leadership that is going to connect our young people, a leadership that is going to make them to innovate.
General Lamin Bojang, Party Leader and Secretary General of the ANRD. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
you.